Welcome to this week's Changelog, where we go through the changes week by week on Solana. My name is Jacob, and I am joined with Colin today, and let's get started. So first off, I wanted to touch base on the FireDancer implementation of Quick. So recently, FireDancer showcased their implementation of Quick, and they have a video on their YouTube channel of how that looks. Basically, what it does is they're building piece by piece the Solana validator client, and Quick of the transaction ingest through Quick is another milestone that they've now hit. If you actually look through the video, you'll see that they were able to hit about 23 gigabits per second on a 25 gig NIC, and they were trying to DDoS their FireDancer implementation. And what this turns into, or what it means for most users, is it means about 1.08 million TPS at a 1 kilobyte transaction size with this current Quick server. Really cool. What do you think, Colin?
To be honest, the number just sounds ridiculous. And I think it's really interesting to see like how this is developing over time. And also very interested to see, once this is actually completely done, all of the different enhancements and performance optimizations we'll see on the network, and kind of like how it kind of shakes up the validator landscape as well. So thoroughly interested, and I'm literally just glued into any updates that they make to kind of see like what new stuff that they have around the corner. So super interesting.
Yeah, I love FireDancer. I can't wait to see like their next update. Like every update, it's like really cool and just jam packed with great information. Can't wait to see the next one. Quick took a long time, but it also took a long time on the Labs client. And now that we have that, there's a lot of other things that probably are coming up, like runtime and other, like just looking forward to the other milestones upcoming.
Yep. And it kind of seems like with all of the updates that they release, it's actually not just like an incremental improvement, it's like an exponential improvement. So it's just like, it's just crazy, the things that they're able to achieve.
Completely agree. So, Colin, what did you see this week on proposals or sRFCs?
Yes, so the sRFC we're going to look at this week is sRFC 0004, which is proposing to have a native events program. And kind of like the reason for this is there's a current almost workaround that most people use in terms of like using the login system. So this sRFC proposes an actual native events program that pretty much like solves some of the issues that people have when they try to use logs instead. So kind of allows that it states that logs should be available as long as the Solana blocks are around. And there's also needs to be a way to validate that the logs that are returned by the RPC operators are the actual logs that exist. So it's actually going to be quite interesting to see how this shapes up. And again, it kind of solves the workaround that a lot of people have implemented so far.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So events in general have been a very kind of like sticky thing on Solana. I know Anchor kind of just implements them in a way of like it listens for the logs, and based off a specific kind of discriminator or beginning part of the log, it will give you back the event. It would be nice to have a actual standard for logs across both native Anchor and other frameworks. So I'm looking forward to what this turns into. Cool. And then resource of the week, we have two this week. So the first up one is there in the Solana Cookbook, there is now a gaming section. This was done by Jonas and John, both working both full-time and part-time at Solana Foundation. So right now you can now go through the Solana Cookbook, the new section of the gaming section, and learn how can I make a game on Solana. And through NFTs, you can do an on-chain game with like a real-time strategy-based game, how to save game state, how to create an energy system. All of this is now on the cookbook, and you can review it, test it out, and start building your first game.
Yep. Quite cool to see. That particular vertical is very important one. And I think it's kind of like good to see some examples in the cookbook on how to pretty much get started with gaming on Solana.
Awesome. And then what else did you see this week, Colin?
So I was just on the Super Team ecosystem call, where they recently talked about the upgrade to the Super Team Earn platform, which kind of like now sports a more intuitive UI and a more delightful user experience, where you can pretty much go and see all of the different bounties and opportunities that exist across the Solana ecosystem, and also get to see like who the top earners are. So you kind of know what the potentials are for you to earn in the ecosystem. So it's like really cool UI, really nicely done, and looking forward to see like more projects in the ecosystem list their bounties on this platform.
Yeah, I really like the new UI. It's a lot easier to find the bounties. And if you're interested as a developer in applying for these bounties, Solana Foundation, as well as other ecosystem companies, have some bounties ready to apply for on the website. Would love to see people go for them and what they can create out of them. And then for commits of this week, we have there was an addition of the Solidity compiler to the Solana installer. So do you have more information on this, Colin?
Yeah, so I think this kind of stems from a previous commit in the Anchor framework, where on the Anchor init, you can actually choose Solidity as an option. And I think the main issue that existed was that it then required that the Solang binary was already installed, which most people, of course, don't have. So this is to kind of like fix that almost developer experience problem, that just as long as you have Solana installed, the Solang binary comes with it. So if you were to do Anchor init, you wouldn't need to have like a separate binary installed. It already comes with the Solana installer.
Okay, so Solang, for those that don't know, is a way to use Solidity to write Solana smart contracts. It's getting a little bit more mature day by
Mhm.
day, but definitely also check out Solang on how to build it. And now that you can use it with Anchor, it should be pretty easy to use Solang to write Solidity smart contracts on Solana. So yeah, thank you all this week for coming and listening to the changes on Solana. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Oh, have a good one.